Show as well as the Limousin Show. This is your first call, Class 1, 2, 3, and 4 Limousin. First call, Class 1, 2, 3, and 4 Limousin. This is your first call, Class 102, 103, and 104 Belted Galloways. First call, Class 102, 103, and 104 Belted Galloways. Results of Class 102 of your Belted Galloway show. In first place goes to entry number 1, Spring Hill Maeve, exhibited by Mark Snyder. Now entering the ring is class number 103 of your early spring heifer calves. Attention in the barns, this is your first call, class 107 and 108. First call, class 107 and 108, Belted Galloways. First call, class 5 and 6 limousines. First call, class 5 and 6 limousine.
Well, good afternoon here, everyone. Certainly an honor and excited to be here to judge your limousine show today. And what a way to kick things off here with this May heifer calf. Certainly one that can stand some competition. Just really ladylike there about her head and neck. Love there the balance to her underline. Her hip and the build and assembly of her hind leg is very nice. Certainly be excited to get her back out here with a little more competition, but a very nice place to start here for the day.
Results of class number 1 of your open limousine female show. In first place goes to entry number 1, Senate Nirvana 527N, exhibited by Jackson Meyer of Bowling Green, Missouri. This is your second call, class 5 and 6 limousine. Second call and 6 limousine. This is your second call, class 107 and 108 Belted Galloways. Second call, class 107 and 108 Belted Galloways.
Really nice single entry that comes to us again. It can certainly withstand some competition. Certainly a female that just the way she blends, having more than enough power and some foot and bone, but still be, elegant and ladylike there about the shape of her head and neck is very nice. Certainly parked and stops gives you just a tremendous look. She uses that extra foot and bone good in terms of her joint work and her flexibility. Again, one that can withstand quite a bit of competition here, so I'll be excited to get her back out here.
Third and final call, Class 5 and 6 Limousine. Third and final call, Class 5 and 6 Limousine. Please make your way into the makeup arena. Your third and final call, Class 107 and 108 Belted Galloways. Third and final call, Class 107 and 108 Belted Galloways. This time, we'd also like to introduce our judge for your Belted Galloway show today is Mr. Matt Watson. Matt is the owner of Watson Land and Cattle, where he breeds Hereford cattle with his wife Melinda and kids Harley and Wyatt. Matt attended Butler Community College as well as Western Kentucky University, and he was a member of both livestock judging teams. Your judge on your limousine side today is Mr. Cody LaFrance. Cody grew up in Saskatchewan, Canada, raising and showing purebred Simmental and Angus cattle on a national level. In 2015, he moved to Hutchinson, Kansas, where he was a member of the Hutchinson Community College livestock judging team. The team was highly successful, and he was named a Collegiate All-American. He then transferred to Kansas State University, where he was a member of the Reserve National Champion livestock judging team and a National Champion meat animal evaluation team member. He and his wife, Shane, now reside in Prague, Oklahoma, where they raise and sell competitive show steers as well as heifers across the country. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together in welcoming our judges today to the Green Chips here at the North American. Results of Class 103 of your Belted Galloway show. In first place goes to entry number 6, RD Legacy Oakley, exhibited by Charlotte Albaugh. Second place goes to entry number 5, Henderson Shots Not So Fast, exhibited by Kirsten Hendershot. In third place, entry number 3, Sunnybrook Nancy, exhibited by Terry and Julie Willis. Now exhibiting the Belted Galloway ring is class number 104 of your junior heifer calves. This is your first call, Class 111 and 112 Belted Galloways. First call, Class 111 and 112 Belted Galloways.
Really good pair here on our limousine side. And again, I think a pair that offers some differences for sure, just in terms of size and maybe just kind of proportions of where they're at. The young lady's heifer here, she come in the ring, she hit me hard. And just in terms of her shoulder back, I think she's hooked up better right there. I think her upper rib shape and the way she transitions there back into her hip. I like the build there of her hind leg and the way she utilizes it. I think the neat part about her is still to be that skinny and that green, have that kind of rib shape and hook up into her forerib, and her shape there is so good. Still gives you a really nice look. That's a very nice calf, one that I think awfully high of. I think there again, the young man brings us one, and certainly, when she's parked and stopped, she can give you a good look. And in terms of just stoutness of foot and bone, her length of neck, and the way it ties in at the top of her shoulder is really good. That one still reads good in terms of her body shape, her depth of body, and from behind there, length of hip and tail head's good. I wish she'd probably just hook up a little better there and shoulder to forerib. She's maybe 1-2, fights the halter a little bit, maybe just gets a little uncoordinated kind of here and there as she goes. Very, very nice heifer, though, highly presented. Again, young lady in third brings a really nice one. Cowie in terms of her build. I like her body shape, her extra power and mass from behind is really good. She's one that's probably just pushing a little more shoulder there in terms of the base of her shoulder. I think the way she ties in terms of her neck to shoulder, she's a little thicker at the top of her neck there. I think one that could maybe even just be leaned up a little bit. Again, real world, practical functionality, big bodied female, just kind of ran into a really, really tough pair. Have it around the class out with again, really nice kind of female just in terms of being smooth and balanced. Just gives up a little too much power and body at this stage of the game. Sound structured, nice, smooth made female.
Results of class number 3 of your limousine show. In first place goes to entry number 8, Senate Newt 523N, exhibited by Alyssa Slimmer of Maryland. Second place goes to entry number 10, CKES Next Girl 941N, exhibited by Claire Kessler of Crawfordsville, Indiana. Third place goes to entry number 12, No Expectations 301N, exhibited by Abigail Hutchins of Hawthorne, Florida. Fourth place, entry number 11, exhibited by Mackenzie Thigpen. Second call, Class 111 and 112, Belted Galloways. Second call, Class 111 and 112, Belted Galloways.
Really good first division here over on the Lemmy side. And again, just kind of briefly talk them, kind of just, you guys know what I kind of see. And again, the May heifer calf that comes out, certainly one that within that contemporary group can certainly withstand a lot of competition. I think, the neat thing about her is she's so appropriate for her age and her size and where she's at. I think that's extremely neat to see. And again, just parts and pieces are all there. She's one that probably, obviously, like we just kind of said before, probably just gives up just a little bit. But in terms of just look and looking like a female, and just assembly of her build and her hip and her hind leg. Again, she's not as much. A lot of it's just in a comparative sense. Again, but that's a very high quality calf. I think her future down the road a year from now could be very, very good. You know, I think from there you kind of get into kind of a little more kind of challenge or some sort, and the young lady comes out here with one that is certainly, again, in terms of just from the side presence and the way everything kind of blends together is really good. I think her structure and the build of her hip and her hind leg and foot size is certainly an advantage in the way she just kind of smooths everything together. You know, for me, again, she's probably one for an April at this stage, is maybe just pushing just the boundaries in terms of a little bit of size. Again, but she does a lot of things right. I think when we just get right up on her, she could just be a little stouter there out of the back of her blade. But again, that's a very, very good heifer presented to a very high level. I think it's going to have a very, very bright future. Again, then we got into another pair of them in that last class that I liked an awful lot of things about. And again, the lady here brings us a March-born one that's just so good in terms of her center rib, forerib shape. There, the depth to her lower body and her hip and her hind leg build. Yeah, she's not as big boned or as big footed as the heifer in front of her. I do think she's hooked up there a little better there behind her blade and the shape to her forerib. Again, she gives you a nice kind of cool look there in terms of her head and the way kind of her chest sits in her and balances back. You know, she's probably not as long in terms of her hip, and her pins maybe aren't set up quite as good as the heifer ahead of her. I think it's all in a comparative sense what you do. I'm going to take one more look at them and get you guys a champion reserve. But let's give these kids a big round of applause. It's a really good division.
Third and final call, Class 111 and 112, Belted Galloways. Third and final call, Class 111 and 112, Belted Galloways. Your champion Division 1 Limousin female goes to entry number 8, Senate Newt 523N, exhibited by Alyssa Slimmer of Maryland. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 5, S. Saul, How About It 5286N, exhibited by Beckett Dearberry of Olton, Texas. First call, Class 7 and 8 Limousin. First call, Class 7 and 8 Limousin. Results from Class 104 of your Belted Galloway show. In first place, and also your champion junior heifer calf, goes to entry number 12, Spring Hill Lulu's Dream Girl, exhibited by Mark Snyder. Congratulations, your reserve champion junior heifer calf goes to entry number 1, Spring Hill Maeve, exhibited by Mark Snyder. Additional Class 104 results. In second place goes to entry number 11, Spring Hill Ruby, exhibited by Mark Snyder. Third place goes to entry number 10, Rock Creek Nilla, exhibited by Alexa Andler. Now exhibiting in the Belted Galloway ring is Class 107 of your winter heifer calves. Second call, Class 7 and 8 Limousine. Second call, Class 7 and 8. This is your first call, Class 115, 116, and 117 Belted Galloways. First call, Class 115, 116, and 117. Please make your way to the makeup arena. Results of Class 107 of your Winter Heifer Calves at your Belted Galloway Show. In first place goes entry number 15, Spring Hill Jewels, exhibited by Jaden Dunkerley. Second place to entry number 16, Backwoods Blossom, exhibited by Clara Cambers. Now exhibiting in the ring is Class 108 of your Senior Heifer Calves. Second call, Class 115, 116, and 117, belted Galloways. Second call, Class 115, 116, and 117. Third and final call, Class 115, 116, and 117, belted Galloways. Third and final call, Class 115, 116, and 117. Results of Class 108 of your senior heifer calves here in your Belted Galloway show. In first place goes to entry number 19, Wagner Farms Miranda, exhibited by London Cow. Second place, entry number 18, Belted Eisling Mora, exhibited by Aaron and Randy Seal. Third place, entry number 20, Spring Hill Hannah Jane, exhibited by Avery Stitzline. In fourth place, entry number 17, exhibited by David Korn. Now entering the ring will be the selection of your champion senior heifer calf.
Really good class, and certainly a ton of differences, and just in terms of kind of, I guess, where stuff kind of things land, and how much percent you got in you, and kind of where you go, and certainly just a very good class from top to bottom. Honestly, I don't know if I get paid enough to quite be out here to kind of do this right now, because this was a very, very tough class. And I guess for me, probably at the end of the day, I think the young lady brings one that's probably the most complete. I think, when she gets out and goes, everything comes together. I think the way her bladed knee and just her presence up front, I like her body quite a bit. I think it's really good. I still think you get up on her. She reads with such a nice shape there, and in terms of her rib cage and boldness of her forerib, and kind of when she goes, I think if maybe kind of get off, we even cut just a little belly out of her just to kind of help proportion everything out a little better. She's not the biggest boned one in the class by any means. I like her size. I like her freshness and the way everything comes together. For me, I think she just kind of combines the most kind of look and structural integrity, looseness of build with more than enough muscle. The heifer in second, again, is probably one, you got to realize I asked the young lady, is yours a purebred? And she said yes. I think this one has got just a tremendous future. Her build and skeleton is really good, gives you a really nice look, and she has got a nice shape to her. She's stout. She's still wedged right there at the top of her shoulder and the way her neck comes out of her. I love her feet and their kind of her mobility. She's not as good there at the base of her heart and her flank today. Her hips just a little rounder again, but that heifer gets out and reaches. She's good looking. She's fresh. She's muscular. She's got body shape to her. Big footed. Gets out and does a lot of good. I think that heifer's got a really bright future. Young man brings us another one that's very nice, and for her shoulders back, her center body and boldness is really good. The length of hip and the way her tail head sits in her and having some stoutness from behind. I think when you ask him to go, she's a little up and down in terms of her shoulder. Her neck ties in just a little lower into her shoulder, and even just the build of her hind leg could have just a little more flex and bend there to her hock. Again, though, that's a really good heifer to stand third in a tough class. Bold-bodied, has muscle, still feminine and refined there at the top of her neck. Just maybe need to ask her to go a little better out of her front end and tie her neck in just a little higher when she goes. The red heifer is certainly one that's probably the greenest in the class, and that's not why she's here. Again, just in terms of being youthful and her kind, I like a lot of things about her. Her lines parked and stopped are very, very good. The way her neck ties into her, she's flat-shouldered. For being as skinny as she is, she's got a good shape to her from her back of her blade and back through her hip, and she's one that probably when you ask her to go, she's a little up and down in her blade and her knee when she goes. She wants to rise in her back a little bit and maybe just get a little tight there in her loin. Again, that's a really nice heifer that's got a lot of future down the road. Young man brings us one again that's really stout and big-bodied and has some boldness to her. She probably reads a little thicker at the top of her neck. I think when she kind of goes, she wants to get a little wide off her front end and have a little more flex and bend there to her hock when you ask her to go. Again, big picture, though, has some scale, has some length, bold-bodied, has muscle. Like a lot of things about her in a class of this caliber, you can get a little nitpicky. Another heifer that comes, again, parked and stopped. I like a lot of things about her. Smooth, elegant. Love the shape of her head and neck. Got enough rib cage to her and stoutness. She's a little straight there in her front end and blade and knee when she goes. One that probably just needs to be masked up at the ground in terms of her size of foot and bone. Really nice, smooth-made female that's going to have a lot of future down the road. Heifer calf that rounds us out again, parked and stopped, is good in terms of her body, her underline, having some base width and some power from behind. She just gets a little uncoordinated in her spine when you ask her to go. Needs to be a little stronger there in her rear pastern. Really, really good class from top to bottom.
Third and final call, Class 7 and 8 Limousin. Third and final call, Class 7 and 8 Limousin. Attention in the Barnes Belted Galloway Bull exhibitors. All bulls will be called at the same time. Once again, attention all Belted Galloway Bull exhibitors. All bull classes will be called at the same time. Results of class number 4 of your Division II Limousine females. In first place goes entry number 17, Hain TSSL Dirty Dancing 5118, exhibited by J.C. Paris of Liberty, Texas. Second place goes entry number 20, S. Sol Queen Latifah 5360N, exhibited by Samantha Van Voorhees of Bowling Green, Ohio. Third place goes to entry number 13, TSSL Nadia 6N, exhibited by Blake Kitzmiller of Elk Garden, West Virginia. Fourth place, entry number 23, exhibited by Carly Berkheimer. Fifth place, entry number 16, exhibited by Craig Pecco. Sixth place, entry number 22, exhibited by Bailey Ball. And seventh place, entry number 18, exhibited by Jocelyn Rupert. Now exhibiting in the limousine ring is class number 5. Congratulations, your champion senior heifer calf in your Belton Galloway show goes to entry number 15, Spring Hill Jewels, exhibited by Jaden Tunkerley. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 19, Wagner Farms Merida, exhibited by London Kale. Now exhibiting in the Belton Galloway ring is class 111 of your late summer yearling females. First call, class 9 limousines. First call, class 9. Second call, class 9 limousine. Second call, class 9 limousine. Results of Class 111 of your Belted Galloway show. In first place goes to entry number 23, Sunnybrook Honey, exhibited by Brett Shane. Second place goes to entry number 24, Spring Hill Gotcha M5, exhibited by Avery Stitzline. Now exhibiting in the ring is Class 112 of your summer yearling heifers.
Good class here all the way again through, and I think a pair of them that offer quite a bit of differences. And I think the young ladies here that go ahead and win with, when she's parked and stopped, she gives you an extremely good look just in terms of presence and head carriage, her length of body, and to be that long body and still have enough in terms of her depth, the way she kind of blends there from heart to flank is really good. She reads with a nice shape there from behind, certainly stout and big boned. Again, she wants to fight the halter a little bit. I'm not going to say the build of her front end is perfect. I think she needs to be laid back in her blade and knee and just kind of allow her to reach a little bit. She's also moving plenty fast and kind of fighting the halter a little bit out here again today. Young lady here brings us one. I like her youthfulness. I think they're the shape of her head and her neck and her kind of flatness of just shoulder, and the way her neck ties in is really good. She gets her set up. Again, her depth of body is really good. She reads with more than enough muscle shape and just punch to her again. And she's one, too. I think she relatively in terms of her spine when she goes is good. Parked and stopped here again. We could just lay her back in her blade and knee and give her hock a little more set. Again, maybe just lay her tail head down into her hip a little bit. That's a really nice youthful one that's good in terms of her body shape and her rib. I think she reads with enough muscle for a female for me today as well. I think she's just a really nice, complete, fault-free kind of female. Heifer again in third is big bone, long-bodied, level-made, gives you a nice look. She just gives up too much in terms of stifle kind of shape and having some lower muscle. She's one that needs to just be elevated a little bit in terms of her neck and just strengthen up her kind of pasterns there as she goes from you. Heifer that rounds the class out again, having some muscle and some body shape to her really good. She's good there in terms of her forerib. Just needs to move a little better off of either end. Just read a little more ladylike about the shape of her head and neck. Really good division out here again on the Limmy side of the ring, and I think all four females certainly do something that's probably kind of class leading, and there's, I think there's a lot of kind of give and take, and again, the young ladies here in front of me kind of come through a tough class, and I think like we talked before, it was just kind of her combination of looking like a female and just probably having the most correct in terms of her angles, body shape, and still reading with enough muscle to her. I think that one's got a bright future. Like we talked before, if we could just pick her up at the top of her blade and just maybe hook her up in there again a little better there at the top of her spine. Again, I also think that's why she kind of gets out and utilizes everything pretty good, is just how looseness in terms of her build. Again, the lady here that won the last class, certainly big and stout and powerful, reads with probably, class leading bone and probably even presence there. Her look, the way she ties in, and just the refinement of her jawline and her head, I think just is so unique in terms of how robust she is in terms of her forerib, boldness, and, even just the way her length of hip and her tail head and extra bone there at the ground. Again, long body. She's good enough in terms of her body for having that much length, Again, probably the biggest thing was just a little bit in terms of mobility. If we could just, set her back and her blade and knee a little bit and just ask her to go just a little better for me today. Again, I think both of these seconds are very high quality as well. We'll get you a champion, and we'll get the other second back out here, and we'll get you a division champion. Let's give these guys a big round of applause. It was a tough division again. Young lady again, pulling into second hole here. Again, I like that one quite a bit, just in terms of, again, being higher percent Limmy, just so bold and stout. Her extra bone and flexibility is really good. Like we kind of talked before, we could lengthen her hip up a little bit and just pick her pins up a little bit. Again, when you got some muscle to you and having some base width and punch and power to still tie in that way, I like that heifer quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and use her for reserve. Congratulations.
Third and final call, Class 9 Limousine. Third and final call, Class 9 Limousine. Is your first call, Class 10 and 11. First call, Class 10 and 11 Limousine. Results of class number 5 of your limousine show. In first place went to entry number 26, BTOM Nicki Minaj, exhibited by Eli Walther of Centerville, Indiana. Second place went to entry number 141, TASF Northern Charm 954N, exhibited by Abby Newberry of Cedar Hill, Tennessee. Third place went to entry number 89, Cora Norway, exhibited by Cora Burns of Macy, Indiana. Fourth place went to entry 25, exhibited by Kaysen Kaiser of Texas. Congratulations to your champion Division II female. Goes to entry number 17, Hain TSSL Dirty Dancing 5118, exhibited by J.C. Parrish of Liberty, Texas. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 20, S. Soul Queen Latifah 5360N, exhibited by Samantha Van Voorhees of Bowling Green, Ohio. Now exhibiting in the limousine ring is class 6 of your limousine females. Your Class 112 results of your belted Galloway female show. In first place went to entry number 26, and also your champion intermediate heifer calf, Sunnybrook Reina, exhibited by Rhett Shane. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 23, Sunnybrook Honey, exhibited by Red Shane. Second place in class number 112 went to entry number 25, Spring Hill Gia, exhibited by Mark Snyder. This is your first call. All champion and reserve champion belted Galloway females, please make your way into the makeup arena. First call. All champion and reserve champion belted Galloway heifers, please make your way into the makeup arena.
Really nice single entry again here as we get into our kind of Decembers and into the falls. Again, young lady brings us a purebred that is just really good in terms of just her presence and the way everything blends together, having some body shape to her hip and her hind leg and having some muscle there underneath. I think a heifer that can certainly withstand some competition. We'll get her back out here in division and see how she stacks up. But really nice single entry to kick things off.
Results of class number 6 of your Limousin female show. In first place goes to entry number 28, SJMR Miley 448M, exhibited by Samantha Jo Moore of Staunton, Virginia. This is your second call, class 10 and 11 Limousin. Second call, class 10 and 11 Limousin. First call, all cow-calf pairs of your belted Galloways, please report to the makeup arena. First call, all cow-calf belted Galloways, please report to the makeup arena. This is your second call, all champion and reserve champion belted Galloways. Second call, all champion and reserve champion belted Galloway heifers. Third and final call. All champion and reserve champion bell Ted Galloway heifers, please make your way to the makeup arena. Third and final call. All champion and reserve champion and bell Ted Galloway heifers to the makeup arena. This is your second call, Class 126. Second call, Class 126, all cow-calf pairs.
Really good class here again. I certainly think all three of them, certainly have some things that you kind of like about them. And I think here the young lady brings us one that kind of hits the ring and kind of gives you kind of a really good look just in terms of just presence and head carriage and just overwhelming amount of body shape and just how she ties everything so good from the base of her heart to her flank. I think her length of hip and just the build and assembly of her hind leg and hoof size and foot quality, the shape to her rear feet and her depth of heel, I think is very appropriate and ideal. I think she just gives you a really good look, one that certainly can withstand quite a bit of competition. From there, again, I think there's a little more sort and challenge in the kind of female here in second. Again, a little more size and stature, a little more length of body, and probably just smoother in terms of shoulder and the way her tail head sits into her. Gives you a nice look. Again, she's one that, she kind of goes away from you, maybe gets a little closed up. Standing there, I like the build of her hind leg. Ask her to go. I wish she had a little more depth of heel, gets a little soft pasturing. Again, really nice heifer, though, having some boldness, having some shape up high. I think a female that's going to be a really good cow in production. Again, a young man brings us one that certainly is, in terms of body shape and forerib, is really good. Certainly stout and powerful there from behind. Just gives up the extra bells and whistles. Could just utilize her reach of her hind leg and pasturing a little better. Again, really nice class.
Third and final call, Class 10 and 11 Limousin. Third and final call, Class 10 and 11 Limousin.
Another really good class, and certainly one here that kind of comes to us that hits you pretty hard, again, just in terms of having some female quality about her head and her neck. She kind of wants to fight the halter here a little bit, but again, just to be that good in terms of your center body there, rib shape, and having some muscle there, and the build and assembly of kind of either end of her skeleton, I think is very appropriate out here. Be interesting once we get her back out here, maybe she just relaxes just a little bit, kind of see how everything comes together. But very nice heifer, very nice place to start. Young lady, again, just kind of runs into a brick wall here a little bit in terms of the one ahead of her. But again, long-bodied female that's certainly refined in terms of just her head and her neck. Reach with some muscle there, too, in terms of her shape and having there from behind. Just needs to reach a little better off either end of her skeleton to kind of go any higher. Again, but having some length of body and some muscle, very nice place, too.
First call, Class 12 and 13 Limousin. First call, Class 12 and 13 Limousin. Results from class number 7 of your Limousin Open Show. In first place goes to entry number 34, ELCX Miranda 461M, exhibited by Delela Lauber of Hillsboro, Ohio. Second place goes to entry number 33, Legacies Molly, exhibited by Jocelyn Rupert of Witt, Illinois. Third place, entry number 32, LMF Miss Maserati 123M, exhibited by Jasper Tomlin of Amherst, Virginia. Your Class 8 results. In first place goes to entry number 37, TASF CKES My Girl 923M, exhibited by Claire Kessler of Crawfordsville, Indiana. Second place to entry number 35, Senate Modesty 35M, exhibited by Cora Burns of Macy, Indiana. Now entering the Limousin ring is class number 9. Third and final call, Class 126, Belted Galloways. Third and final call, Class 126, Belted Galloways. All cow-calf pairs, please make your way to the makeup arena. This is your first call, all Belted Galloway bulls. First call, all Belted Galloway bulls. Please report to the makeup arena. Second call, all belted Galloway bulls. Second call, all belted Galloway bulls. Second call, class 12 and 13 limousine. Second call, class 12 and 13 limousine. Results of class 115 of your belted Galloways. In first place goes to entry number 29, Wagner Farms, Marcella, exhibited by Kathy and Mike Wagner. Your class 116 results. In first place, entry number 31, Spring Hill Luna, exhibited by Mark Snyder. Second place, entry number 33, Sunnybrook Kenzie, exhibited by Charlotte Allbaugh. Third place, entry number 32, Sunnybrook Casey, exhibited by Leslie Linton. Your class 117 results. In first place, entry number 36, Sunnybrook Renee, exhibited by Tucker Dickerson. Second place, entry number 35, Sunnybrook Laney, exhibited by Alice Yankee. Third place, entry number 34, Windy Meadow Pogo, exhibited by Aaron and Randy Seal.
Nice class again over here on the Limmy side, and certainly the young lady brings us one that I think is very nice. Parked and stopped. You just like a lot of things about her, just her presence there, about her head and her neck and her extension up front. I think there too, just in terms of her body shape, is good. Her depth of body is good at the base of her heart to her flank. It's not as good as some in the class, but I think for her size and length, it's certainly relative and accommodating there. Certainly from behind, stout and have some power. I think the heifer moves nice too. I'm not going to say her structure's the loosest built one, but again, for having that length, having some power and some presence, she gets out, she handles it all good enough. I think that's a really nice place to start. You've done a tremendous job with your heifer. From there, I think a little more sort and challenge. I think the heifer again in second, just in terms of standing here, depth of body is really good, having some muscle to her, a female that's still got enough look and presence. She gets a little wide out of her front end coming and going. I think she utilizes her hind leg fine, her reach and mobility out of it. It could be stouter at the ground and even just refine her feet just a little bit. Again, having some body though and kind of a moderate package, kind of low maintenance look to her. It's kind of why you land in second. Heifer in third again, stouter, bolder, probably female, breeds with a little more foot and bone. Probably just gets a little uncoordinated there out of her hind leg when you ask her to go. Just needs to see kind of a little more depth of body and flank in her. Again, but that's a nice female that's got some power and some muscle in her. Heifer that comes out next, again, certainly has class leading advantage in terms of size and length. Again, a female that I think her, build and the way it kind of comes together is fine. She just needs some more power. She's plenty chubby there too. It just needs some more muscle from a composition standpoint to move up any higher. Young lady's done a tremendous job here with her heifer again. Certainly reads with some power. Got a neat look to her in terms of her head and throat latch and the way it kind of all blends into her shoulder. Just needs to reach out of her front end a little better, drop her in her base of her heart into her flank to balance up. Young man brings us one again that's got some power, got some kind of boldness there in her center body and got some shape from behind. Just rounder in terms of her hip and her shoulder shape. Just needs to get out and go just a little better off of either end. Really nice class of Limmy heifers.
Third and final call, class 12 and 13 limousine. Third and final call, class 12 and 13 limousine. Congratulations, your champion junior heifer here in your Belted Galloway show goes to entry number 36, Sunnybrook Renee, exhibited by Tucker Dickerson. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 31, Spring Hill Luna, exhibited by Mark Snyder.
Another really good division here, and certainly I think you breeders and showmen and fitters and parents should be very, very proud. This has certainly been really fun to kind of get through, and certainly sometimes in some of these kind of fall summer divisions, it can quality can kind of drop off a little bit, and it certainly has not. This is very, very fun to evaluate and be out here. Again, we'll just kind of briefly run down through them so you can kind of understand I guess what I'm seeing and go from there. Young lady again that starts off just really complete, I guess is probably the way. I like her freshness and just at the top of her neck. I think her chest sits in her and balances up really, really good. Again, body shape and power is nice. And again, I think her structure and mobility is nice, the way she kind of moves. She probably doesn't come at you with any ESTs out here at all. Again, but I think she just blends and smooths. I think she'd be really fun here kind of going through the summer as a senior yearling for this young lady. A female that just doesn't have the extras in terms of bone and just maybe presence and even hair quality, but she's done a tremendous job with her. Again, you kind of get back out here, and this female right here in class hit me pretty hard, and certainly when she gets her set up and parked, overwhelming amount of body. One that certainly, as get behind her, got a nice shape to her, and some power there. Gives you a nice look there when she gets parked and stopped. I think she's very high quality. I think with that, though, I think she's one that we could probably just ask her to be a little better there in her knee, coming and going. She maybe wants to close up there a bit. When she gets to going a little bit, she just kind of wants to maybe just pulling her back ever so slightly. I think if we could just kind of modify the build there of her shoulder and knee a little bit, I think it would maybe allow her to kind of use her spine maybe just a freckle better. Even when she's kind of going, she wants to maybe just duck her neck. Again, that's getting awfully picky on a really, really high quality heifer that is certainly in contention out here. Again, here, again, the next class, and certainly one that I like a lot of things about, just in terms of having composition, in terms of, fat to muscle is just incredible. I think she's fresh. I like the way she ties in there at the top of her neck and her smoothness. Again, extra foot and bone. She kind of fights the halter out here a little bit. I'll be honest, it's getting, a little hard to read in terms of structure. I think the build of her shoulder and knee is good. I think whether her hip and her hind leg is nice. We could lengthen her hip out a little bit. I think maybe just make her hawk, maybe just a little more stable. She kind of wants to pad a lot of it ever so slightly. Again, she's fighting the halter a little bit, parked and stopped, though. I like a lot of things about her. Just fresh and elegant, body shape and stout. Ties in so good at the top of her shoulder for having so much extra punch and power to her, I think is awfully unique. Young lady from that last class, again, fresh, conditioned female that's flat-shouldered, reads with a nice shape and elegant look to her. Again, she needs to be just a little better there in her knee and the way it's kind of built into her. Give her hawk a little more flex and bend for a little more mobility. Again, but she's smooth, she's stout, she's got some power. Not quite as overwhelming in terms of body as the females ahead of her, but a really nice female here that'll make a fun project for her down the road as she keeps going. Again, we'll take one more look here and see. I think a really good division. Let's give these guys a big round of applause to get you a champion reserve and keep going.
Third and final call, all belted Galloway bulls. Third and final call, all belted Galloway bulls. First call, class 14 and 15. Limousin, first call, class 14 and 15.
Really nice single entry here over on the Limousin side of the show. Again, for a purebred female to have that kind of look and smoothness and freshness and having some muscle, and I think her feet and legs work the way they need to, I think that heifer going to stand a lot of competition. Really like that female to go ahead, and I think be excited to get her back out here.
Second call, class 14 and 15 Limousin. Second call, class 14 and 15. Your Class 9 results of your Open Limousine Show. In first place goes to entry number 44, KQLL 4317M, exhibited by Savannah Larson of Florida. Second place goes to entry number 43, KQLL 4326M, exhibited by Kendallin Portwood of Versailles, Kentucky. Third place, entry number 39, Mary Ann, exhibited by Juliana Rex Road from Duck, West Virginia. Fourth place, entry number 45, exhibited by Kate Wainwright of Stark, Florida. Fifth place, entry number 41, exhibited by Abigail Byers of Johnson City, Tennessee. Sixth place, entry number 42, is exhibited by Bryce Friend of Woodduck, West Virginia. Congratulations to your champion Division 3 Limousine female. Goes to entry number 37, TASF CKES Mine Girl 923M, exhibited by Claire Kessler of Crawfordsville, Indiana. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 34, ELCX Miranda 461M, exhibited by Delayla Lauber of Hillsboro, Ohio. Your Class 10 results. In first place goes to entry number 46, HB Whiskey 470M, exhibited by Laura Landers Franklin of Blounsville, Alabama. Now exhibiting in the limousine ring is Class 11.
Another really nice single entry over here again, in a female that's elegant and got a nice look to her. I think her length of body and the way she kind of uses everything is really good. Got a nice shape to her, got some muscle there from behind. I think a female, once we get her back out here, can stack up against some competition.
Congratulations, your grand champion belted Galloway heifer goes to entry number 36, Sunnybrook Renee, exhibited by Tucker Dickerson. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 31, Spring Hill Luna, exhibited by Mark Snyder. Now exhibiting in the belted Galloway ring is class number 126 of your cow-calf pairs.
Really a good division here again, kind of low in numbers, but certainly the quality keeps coming. Certainly, I think two females that kind of go back and forth on a few things. Certainly, I like this heifer quite a bit, but she me the first time. She'll be your champion, young lady. You'll be reserved. Congratulations.
Your Class 11 results of your Open Limousine Show. In first place goes to entry number 53, and also your reserve Division 4 champion limousine female, Cell Miracle 4182M, exhibited by Alea Hazel Byers of Johnson City, Tennessee. Your champion Division 4 limousine female goes to entry number 46, HB Whiskey 470M, exhibited by Laura Landers Franklin of Blounsville, Alabama. Third and final call, class 14 and 15 Limousin. Third and final call, class 14 and 15. Results of Class 126 of your belted Galloway show. In first place, and also your grand champion cow-calf pair goes to entry number 485, Riversmith Priscilla, exhibited by Josh Smith. Your reserve champion cow-calf pair goes to entry number 46, Sunnybrook Jewel, exhibited by Aaron and Randy Seal. First call, all belted Galloway steers to the makeup arena. First call, all belted Galloway steers to the makeup arena. First call, class 16, 18, and 19 limousines. First call, class 16, 18, and 19. Second call, all belted Galloway steers, please make your way to the makeup arena. Second call, all belted Galloway steers. Results of Class 130 of your Belted Galloway Bull Show. In first place goes entry number 1, Spring Hill Mr. Goodbar, exhibited by Mark Snyder. Second place to entry number 49, Belted Aisling Nolan, exhibited by Aaron and Randy Seal. Your Class 131 results. In first place goes to entry number 50, Yankee Farms SBF Lane, exhibited by Alice Yankee. Now exhibiting in the Belted Galloway ring is a selection of your champion junior bull calf. Second call, Class 16, 18, and 19 limousines. Second call, Class 16, 18, and 19.
Really good class here again on the Limmy side of things. I think it kind of boils down to probably a trio for me a little bit. I think all three of them certainly have a class leading advantage. I think it's, kind of nitpicky things here and there. This is just kind of the way I see it. I think the young man's heifer to me in terms of just freshness and kind of elegant and shape of head and neck is as good as probably the ones behind her. I think that's probably where she's at an advantage. I think in terms of being that fresh and the way her chest sits up in her, I think her shape there out of the back of her blade is probably the truest, and just how much true muscles in that heifer in terms of just from behind having some punch, boldness of forerib. I think her structure and mobility is really nice. She's not the biggest bone one there in terms of just foot size and could give her a little more to match some of that upper rib shape going away from you. I'd like to just open her up a little bit just to kind of get a little kind of closed up there, just the hair. But I think freshness and having some just kind of muscle and body shape, I think, is probably where she probably lands for me today. I think from there, again, the young lady brings us one that is heavy duty in terms of foot and bone. She's so smooth and just kind of the way she transitioned the shoulder to forerib. She's one that probably gets a little thicker there at the top side of her neck. From the side, she just maybe reads a little flatter there in kind of her lower stifle and quarter area again, but that's still a female that's good in terms of body shape, boldness, extra foot and bone. Moves really nice as well, just maybe getting a little thicker and just a little plainer there in terms of the top of her neck. Heifer again that comes in third, tremendous amount of depth of body, one that is really stout and just from behind in terms of pin width and having some muscle to her. She's one that's probably pushing just a little more chest, could just be leaned up a little bit, and she's one that could just ask her to lay her blade and knee back a little bit. Again, have female that's bold-bodied, having some muscle to her, just needs to be freshened up a little bit just to go kind of any higher. Really nice place here in fourth again. Heifer that just ran into a tough trio, just elegant and presence to her. She probably doesn't balance up as good in terms of chest to flank to the three ahead of her. She's a little rock forward there in her blade and could just be picked up and smoothened up there in terms of her top line balance. That's a really nice heifer, though, that's still sound structured in terms of her rear leg. Foot quality is really nice on that heifer again as well. Young lady to round the class out, certainly again a female that's long, level, has some extra size and scale to her. One that just is a little too straight off of either end. Female that doesn't balance up as the heifers ahead of her. Really good class. That's a good trio on top.
Results of class number 12 in your limousine female show. In first place goes to entry number 60, TASF Miss Elsa 885M, exhibited by Corbin Robbins of Chattanooga, Oklahoma. Second place goes to entry number 58, S. Saul Charmer 4605M, exhibited by Carter Cornegie of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Third place goes to entry number 61, Destiny's Child, exhibited by Emma Graft of Middletown, Ohio. Fourth place, entry number 54, is exhibited by Liliana Portwood of Versailles, Kentucky. Fifth place, entry number 57, exhibited by Samantha Jo Moore of Staunton, Virginia. This is your third and final call, Class 16, 18, and 19 limousine. Third and final call, Class 16, 18, and 19. Congratulations, your champion junior bull calf in your belted Galloway Bull Show. Your champion goes to entry number 1, Spring Hill, Mr. Goodbar, exhibited by Mark Snyder. Your reserve champion bull calf goes to entry number 49, Belted Isling Nolan, exhibited by Aaron and Randy Seal. Now exhibiting in the belted Galloway ring is class number 140 of your summer yearling bulls. This is your second call, all belted Galloway steers. Please make your way into the makeup arena. Second call, all belted Galloway steers. Results of Class 140 from your belted Galloway show. In first place and also your champion summer bull goes to entry number 55, Oatley's Farm de Culpeper, exhibited by Kyle and Emily Wilkerson. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 56, JAS Maverick, exhibited by Audrey and Josh Simmons. Your Class 147 results. Congratulations. Your champion senior bull goes to entry number 61, Backwoods Aspen, exhibited by Clara Cambers. Now entering the belted Galloway ring will be the selection of your grand and reserve grand champion and bull. This is your third and final call. All belted Galloway steers to the makeup arena. Third and final call. All belted Galloway bulls.
Nice class again here, and certainly I think it's kind of a horse race a little bit. I think these two kind of pair up better. This one's kind of an outlier. I'll be the first to admit I don't know if her kind's 100%. It's kind of what I'm after today. But again, I think there's a lot of good in the heifer, and just to appreciate what she does bring to the table. Parked and stopped here. I think her body shape and having some true power and kind of some pry opened up underneath. She gives you a really nice look. I think her neck is still trim enough at the top. Her body and forward and smoothness is really good. Having some foot and bone underneath her, I think, is really nice. I think we just need to lengthen her out. She's a little squatty and just jammed up for me. She could even be leaned up a little bit. I'm not going to say she's the freshest one out here by any means, but again, I think her composition of muscle to fat is really good. Some bone. She's highly presented. I think that heifer's just a nice place to start. From there, I think these two females kind of offer some give and take. I think the young lady's heifer is just having some more body and just some dimension in terms of just kind of more of a 3D look from kind of either angle. She's good there in terms of her center body, having some muscle from behind. She stands a little wide up front for me. She's a little thicker there at the top of her neck and just kind of gets a little kind of uncoordinated out of her front end again, but that's a really nice female that's got some body to her and has some muscle to her as well. Young lady that rounds the class off with, again, brings us one that has some more bone to her, has some more foot compared to the heifer ahead of her. She just gets a little deeper chested, one that just needs to relax in terms of her spine when you ask her to go. Again, that's a nice trio of females.
Once again, all belted Galloway steers, please make your way to the makeup arena. All belted Galloway steers, please make your way into the makeup arena. Your Class 13 results of your Limousin female show. In first place goes to entry number 69, HB Whiskey 442M, exhibited by Samantha Pinko of Ewing, Kentucky. Second place goes to entry number 62, Maine She's a Star, exhibited by Michaela Jo Massey of London, Kentucky. Third place goes to entry number 64, S. Sol Eden 4395M, exhibited by Amanda Pervins of Versailles, Kentucky.
Really good single entry here that comes over on this side again, and certainly in terms of presentation is very, very high. Again, presence and look is really good. Body shape and dimensions really good. Feet and legs are good, and certainly a lot of circumference of foot and bone. Female that certainly just balances up really good from the side, puts her ears forward, gives you a really nice look. Be interesting to get her back out here and kind of stack up with what else is going to be in that division, but very high quality female to kind of go ahead.
Congratulations, your grand champion belted Galloway Bull goes to entry number 55, Oatley's Farm de Coper 10M, exhibited by Kyle and Emily Wilkerson. Your reserve grand champion bull goes to entry number 1, Spring Hill Mr. Goodbar, exhibited by Mark Snyder. Your Class 14 results of your Limousin female show. In first place goes to entry number 77, H.F. Howbother, 4387M, exhibited by Kennedy Lockhart of Fort Gibson, Oklahoma. Now exhibiting in the Limousin ring is class number 15. This is your first call for all champion and reserve champion Limousin females. Please make your way into the makeup arena. First call, all champion and reserve champion Limousin females. Please make your way into the makeup arena. Attention Limousin bull exhibitors. All Limousin bulls will be called at the same time. Once again, all Limousin bulls will be called to the makeup arena at the same time.
Good class here again, and certainly I think all four of them are very nice females. The young man here hits you pretty hard. Certainly just to be that overwhelming in terms of having some body and just real muscle there at the top of her skeleton, and from behind she is wide. To be that still just elegant, and just the shape of her head is so ladylike, and having some flexibility and just overall mass and power. Looks like her teat placement and udder development is nice, and just her spacing and refinement. It's a very nice heifer to go ahead and win this class. From there, I think the young lady's heifer here again comes in, and I think she's got some things to her that a guy really likes. She's foot size and bone is really good. Reads with some shape and power there from behind. Ties her neck in very high and gives a proud kind of arrogant look to her. Again, she's one that maybe stands a little wider up front, maybe just has a little more bend there to her hind leg and can be strengthened up there in her pasterns. That's a fresh conditioned female, though, that's been presented very well and having some muscle to go along with it. Again, heifer that comes out again in third, certainly one that's long, level, smooth female that's laid back good in her shoulder and structure's nice on her. I think a heifer that probably just gets ties in a little bit lower there in her neck, gets a little thicker there at the top of her neck. Just need to strengthen her up as her pasterns too when she kind of goes here. Young lady that rounds the class out, again, brings another nice one. Certainly just ran into a very tough class. Pushing just a little bit of brisket. Needs to just move a little better out of her front end, but long made, has some performance, got some muscle to her from behind. Just need to modify a few little things here to get up any higher.
Your Class 15 results of your Open Limousine Female Show. In first place goes entry number 85, Boy Jane Core Layla 4035M, exhibited by Keegan Bonsack of Taylor Ridge, Illinois. Second place goes entry number 86, Sal Mia 4019M, exhibited by Abigail Faith Turner of Florida. Third place, entry number 80, Legacies Meg, exhibited by Jocelyn Rupert of Witt, Illinois. Fourth place, entry number 79, exhibited by Alea Hazel Byers of Johnson City, Tennessee.
Really good division out here again, and certainly the quality just keeps coming here as we get a little closer to wrapping some stuff up. Just kind of go down the line again, kind of let you guys know what I'm seeing, and kind of go from there. Again, the young man's heifer here up front, kind of come out of that class just in terms of probably being the most genuine in terms of her shape and rib cage. I like how fresh she is, and just the way her chest sits in her, the shape of her head and neck is so ladylike. She's still so flexible and good there on the move. Like we said before, we could probably lengthen her hip up a little bit, pick her pins up, and stouten up her rear leg a little bit. But in the big kind of world picture, I just love her freshness and just shape and genuine look to her, and flexibility is really good. She's got a nice look there, and just about her head and jawline I think is really refined. Heifer that comes next again, kind of like we talked before, maybe not 100% of the kind of the cattle that I gravitate towards, but I think she still has quality that needs to be brought to the table in terms of just mass and power. She's flexible and gets out and goes. She's just a little jammed up and squatty for me today. She's one that could be strengthened on her rear pasture and just go a little kind of be a little stronger there, but she's got some muscle in her. She's got some body and smoothness to her. We could just freshen her up a little bit there at the top of her neck and chest ever so slightly again. Again, kind of get down here. Again, a young lady brought us a single entry that is just really intriguing from the side. There's a lot of parts and pieces a guy can tie into. She's, pretty there, the way her head and her neck ties into her shoulder. I think her length and balance from the side is really good. She's presented very, very well. Her underline balance is up really good. In big bone. She's probably an EST for that out here in the lineup for sure. Kind of for me a little bit here again, when you ask her to kind of go and come towards you, she's a little closed up underneath. Like to just give her a little more pry and just open her up, kind of bust her open a little bit. I think her shape up high is nice. She could just be opened up a little bit underneath, but again, presentation and just the way she parks and stops, you could latch into her, and certainly gives you an incredible look out here. Young man brings us one here at the end of the lineup again that is just tremendous in terms of shoulder back, just how opened up she is in her rib cage. She is wide from behind. I like that. I like cattle that are stout. I like ones that give you a nice look in terms of just head shape and neck. Again, I think that heifer does a lot of good things. Again, you get a little picky on her. You could maybe elevate her out of her blade, hook her up a little better. She's a big, heavy bred that's stout, tons of body, gets her on the ring good. Young man, you'll be champion today.
First and second call, all champion and reserve champion limousine females, please report to the makeup arena. This is your first and second call. All champion and reserve champion limousines, please make your way to the makeup arena. This is your first call, all limousine bulls. First call, all limousine bulls. Congratulations, your champion Division 5 female goes to entry number 85, Boy J. Layla, 435M, exhibited by Keegan Bonsack of Taylor Ridge, Illinois. Your reserve champion Division 5 limousine female goes to entry number 77, HF Howbother, 4387, exhibited by Kennedy Lockhart of Fort Gibson, Oklahoma. Now entering the limousine ring is class number 16.
Nice single entry out here again, and a female that comes to us fresh in terms of her condition, having some body shape to her and boldness again, kind of like we've talked for most of the day. A female again that gets around the ring plenty good enough. She could be a little relaxed in her blade and knee and just modify the shape and length of her rear toe. But again, fresh condition, got some muscle, got some body shape to her. A female that can withstand some competition. We get her back out here.
All percentage steers in your belted Galloway show, please make your way into the makeup arena. All percentage steers, mismarked heifers, as well as percentage heifers, please make your way into the belted Galloway makeup arena.
Another nice single entry again comes to us, and again, flexible in terms of kind of her reach and mobility, smooth in her forerib and into her shoulder. A female that's probably just pushing their little chest, just needs to balance up a little better from the side. But again, loose made heifer that's got some body, got some muscle to her. We'll get her back out here in division and kind of see how things stack up.
This is your final call. All champion and reserve champion limousine females, please make your way to the makeup arena. Third and final call. All champion and reserve champion limousine females to the makeup arena. This is your second call. Limousine bulls. Second call. Limousine bulls.
last class here of the day, and certainly one that comes to us again here with a little extra baggage there in terms of the little one, but a nice female in terms of body. Her foot shape is nice. Again, has some muscle to her. Udder placement stuff is nice. We could modify her teat length and just kind of square everything up there a little bit. Again, but a cow that's certainly out there in the real world doing it, good-footed, got some bone, breeds with enough body and muscle. We'll get them back out here and kind of see how everything stacks up.
Your Class 16 results in your Limousin female show. In first place went to entry number 91, ENTJ Lori, exhibited by Eliza Truel of Oklahoma. Your Class 18 results. In first place goes to entry number 93, VTGF, Truly Charmed, exhibited by Eliza Truel of Oklahoma. Your Class 19 results. In first place, entry number 94, BRYF Lady Luck, 351L, exhibited by Bryce Friend of Duck, West Virginia.
Really good division here to kind of wrap up things here on the female side. And again, just kind of briefly run down the line quick and keep going. I think the heifer that come out of there, the first class, is just extremely nice in terms of just body shape, having some bone, good in terms of her mobility. I think she just kind of checks a lot of boxes that we've been kind of after today. The heifer that comes out of the next class, again, has some bone, good enough in terms of her body, one that will probably read just with a little more meat and muscle there behind her blade and back and through her hip. She gets a little chesty there just to pick that up and just kind of balance everything out. Again, but a nice heifer, again, that's got some body to her and moves good enough in terms of her structure off of either end. Young man brings us one here again that in production already, and I appreciate that about that. Again, feet are nice and got some bone to her, smooth and level made. Probably one that could just, take the calf out of her, could maybe just have a few more groceries just to balance out in terms of her underline and back to her udder. Again, but functional, good-footed, got a nice enough udder on her for a 2-year-old. He should be very proud of his project down the road. With that, we'll go ahead. Young man, you'll be championing the division. You'll be reserved. Congratulations.
Attention to the barns, we have something special for you tonight at the Hitchin Post in front of the West Wing. The Kentucky Headhunters are in concert tonight, starting at 8 p.m., delivering their bluesy vocals and some of the hottest guitar riffs in country music. The Headhunters have earned Grammy, CMA, and ACM awards for their distinct, eclectic Southern rock sounds, but tonight is a kind of homecoming for this band from Edmonton, Kentucky. It's a special, free performance you don't want to miss. The opening act starts today at 4 p.m. Third and final call, all Limousin Bulls. Third and final call, all Limousin Bulls to the Bank Up Arena. Congratulations to your champion Division 6 Limousin female goes to entry number 91, ENTJ Lori, exhibited by Eliza Truel of Oklahoma. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 93, VTGF Truly Charmed, exhibited by Eliza Truel of Oklahoma. Now entering the ring will be the selection of your grand and reserve grand champion Limousin females. Attention to the barns, all percentage steers, mismarked heifers, and percentage heifers of your Belted Galloway show, please report to the arena. This is your third and final call. Results of Class 154 in your Belted Galloway show. In first place goes to entry number 68, Riversmith Boy Toy Troy, exhibited by David Korn. In second place goes to entry number 66, R&D Legacy Emmett, exhibited by Charlotte Albaugh. Your Class 156 results of your finished steers. In first place goes to entry number 73, Sunnybrook Bach, exhibited by Rhett Shane. Second place goes to entry Number 74, Sunnybrook, Dakota, exhibited by Alexa Adler. Third place, entry number 71, Spring Hill Shenanigan, exhibited by Avery Stitzline. Fourth place, entry number 75, exhibited by Alice Yankee. Fifth place, entry number 76, exhibited by Charlotte Allball. Sixth place, entry number 72, exhibited by Kirsten Hendershot. Once again, on percentage steers, purebred mismarked heifers and percentage heifers of your Belted Galloway show, please report to the makeup arena.
What an incredible. Really good lineup here as we get everything back out here for our champion female in the Limousin show. I'll be honest, I've never really spent a whole lot of time watching this breed. Certainly you see the change that it's done in the past, short 3, 4, 5 years has just been incredible. Certainly I think there's some of the most kind of sought after cattle here right now, and certainly I think the market is as high as it's ever been for these cattle. I think this is an incredible lineup. I've just totally enjoyed get to kind of go through your breed here and kind of sort through some limb flex and kind of purebred cattle, and I find it very intriguing when the purebred female can still come out here and kind of rival the flexes. I think that's very, very cool. With that, I'm going to just give a quick breakdown of everything. When you leave the ring today, whether you agree with it or not, I'm going to give you kind of what I see. You can take it for what it's worth, but I've been in your guys' position before. You put a lot of time and work into these things, and sometimes if you don't get a reason, I can understand that. So we'll kind of go down the line real quick, kind of get this wrapped up and get going. Young lady here, the calf that comes to that first division, certainly just striking. I think she does so much good in terms of just ladylike and presence. I think her lower body balance and everything is really good. She reads with enough shape to her from behind. I'm not going to say she's the stoutest one out here by any means, but again, for a young, skinny green calf, I think she's got more than enough. Not the biggest boned again, but everything I think is kind of a comparative sense. I would say a year from now, that heifer could be very, very impressive and be very fun to show. Get into that next calf division, and certainly that was really a lot of sort and challenge that come through. I guess I kind of wavered on probably the one that just hit me with the most combination of just having some body, female quality, and presence. I think her boldness there in terms of just from the back of her blade to her hip is really good. I think she reads with a nice shape there in from behind. She pulls it all together good when she moves. She can get a little lazy out here and just get a little easy top. Again, I think it's terms of having some flexibility, though, to go with it when you got that much rib and body, having some muscle and some bone under you, too. I don't know if I'm going to use it as a negative or, it's kind of somewhat a positive, too, to be loose built and to kind of have that. But highly presented, I think a calf that's got a tremendous future, certainly was one that is very intriguing just to watch and kind of analyze throughout the day. Again, we get into this the next division here, and certainly one that I liked a lot of things about, just in terms of being, having some size and stature. I think her muscle and just the way everything blends to be that stout. I think her condition is very good and fresh. I think just to be, have that kind of smoothness from shoulder to forerib and boldness in her rib shape. You get behind her, she is wide built as well, got some foot and bone to her. She wants to fight the halter out here a little bit. She probably does just get a little round there out of her shoulder in the way coming at you. She probably pulls in her back just a little bit as well. I think her structure is good. I'm not going to say it's as good as some of the other ones out here, but I think to be fresh, have some look, have some muscle, I think that heifer is very high quality, certainly one I kind of like to look at and talk about. Then we get to the next one here that coming to us, and kind of a not as many numbers in that division, but certainly one for a purebred heifer to have some presence to her, have some muscle shape. She's smooth made. She's one you get her back out here, maybe not as overwhelming in terms of her base of heart back to her flank. Could be just a little sappier in that regard. Again, I think the build and length of her hip and the build of her hind leg and foot quality is really good. We could probably lay her back and her blade and knee ever so slightly. Again, but that's a very nice heifer, again, that certainly could withstand some more competition in that division. Then we get back out here, the young man brings us one that is really just intriguing to be that massive and opened up and to have that kind of foot and bone and muscle. Again, I just love how just refined she is of her shape and her jawline and the way it all comes together. I think she's really good. Like we kind of said before, you could elevate her maybe a little bit up there. She gets to motoring around though. It all comes together. I think that heifer is very nice. Udder teat placement is really good. Feet and legs are very nice. I think she's very, very high quality. We round the day off again with a nice heifer that certainly does a lot of things right. She doesn't come with the extra bells and whistles as some others, and that's fine. I think she's smooth. She's got some muscle to her. She's one that's, standing here, the build of her hip and her hind leg is really nice. We could just ask her to go a little better out of her front end, maybe just bring her tail head down and just kind of smooth that up in terms of a balance standpoint. But I think that's a heifer that is going to be really good in production and do a lot of things right moving the breed forward. With that, we'll take another look here. There's, probably boils down to about 3 of them for me out here. We'll kind of get another look, get you guys a champion, but let's give these guys a big round of applause. I've certainly enjoyed being out here to sort through your guys' cattle.
Congratulations, your champion purebred steer in your Belted Galloway show goes to entry number 73, Sunnybrook Bach, exhibited by Rhett Shane. And your reserve champion purebred steer goes to entry number 74, Sunnybrook Dakota, exhibited by Alexa Adler. Congratulations, your grand champion Limousin female goes to entry number 85, Boy Jane Cord Layla 435M, exhibited by Keegan Bonsack of Taylor Ridge, Illinois. Congratulations, your reserve grand champion Limousin female goes to entry number 37, TASF CKES Mine Girl 923M, exhibited by Claire Kessler of Crawfordsville, Indiana. Attention to the barns, Gelfie Balancer exhibitors. Your show will begin at 4:15. This is your first call, Class 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 11. Once again, this is your first call, Class 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 11. Please note, due to multiple single entry classes, multiple classes will be called at the same time. Results of your percentage steers of your Belted Galloway show. In first place for Class P154, and also your champion percentage steer goes to entry number 70, TED Dune, exhibited by Tanner Dwyer. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 69, HMD Mr. Brown, exhibited by Henry Dwyer. Congratulations to your champion purebred Miss Marked Heifer, goes to entry number 8, Yankee Farm Sweet Tart, exhibited by Carter Yankee. In your percentage heifers, your champion percentage heifer goes to entry number 11, Spring Hill Thea, exhibited by Jess Miller. Your reserve champion junior percentage heifer calf goes to entry number 9, Heavenly Farm Farabee, exhibited by Isabella Honeycutt. Your champion junior percentage heifer out of Class P117 goes to HMD Josie, exhibited by Henry Dwyer. Attention to the barns. This is your second call. Class 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 11 Gelfie heifers. Second call. Class 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 11. Please make your way into the makeup arena. Congratulations, your grand champion percentage belted Galloway heifer goes to entry number 37, HMD Josie, exhibited by Henry Dwyer. Your reserve grand champion goes to entry number 11, Spring Hill Thea, exhibited by Jess Miller. We'd also like to recognize your premier breeder for your Belted Galloway Open show is Mark Snyder and Spring Hill. And your junior herdsman goes to Steven Silberg Award is Charlotte Allball. Congratulations, Charlotte and Mark Snyder in Spring Hill. Third and final call, Class 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 11 Gelfie females. Third and final call, Class 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 11.
Good class here as we get kind of back into the Limousin show here, and I think all three bulls are, have some parts and pieces to them that are nice. I think there are different stages in terms of kind of maturity and where they're at. I think the bull that wins just hits me as kind of the most rugged there about his head and his crest. Certainly one that reads with probably the most shape there. He's still so good at his sheath. He's got a good set of feet on him. His testicle development looks really nice. Just looks like a breeding bull to me down the road. Calf in second certainly probably comes at you, although a little higher there in terms of his presence and head carriage. Probably bigger footed and a little more kind of bone, maybe just a little trendier, I guess. For me, he's probably just not good enough in terms of his forerib and just shape as compared to the class winner. He's not as just stout and powerful from behind, kind of when you get behind the cattle. The bull here to round the class off with, again, got some muscle and some shape to him. He just gets a little high in his top and gets a little uncoordinated off his rear, too, when you ask him to go, but still a bull that's got some muscle and a good set of testicle development coming under him as well. Single entry bull that comes out next that is certainly can withstand some competition. He's got a good rugged look to him about his head and crest and coming into him. He's so good there in terms of his just muscle and rib cage and density. I think he's got a nice shape to him there when you get behind him. Certainly his structure for having that kind of meat and muscle in him, he certainly handles it very well on the go. I think he looks like a breeding bull down the road. Certainly one that can withstand some competition.
Results of Class 20 of your Limousin Bulls. In first place and also your champion goes to entry number 98, TASF Nighthawk 975N, exhibited by Thomas & Son Farms of Boonesboro, Maryland. Your reserve champion in second place in Class 20 goes to entry number 96, SKSW Mr. Newman 524N, exhibited by Slate Wind Farm of Mercersburg, Pennsylvania. Third place goes to entry number 97, KKSC Night Moves 507N, exhibited by Kason Kaiser of Texas. Your Class 21 results. In first place goes to entry number 100, TASF Nightfall 986N, exhibited by Thomas & Son Farms of Boonesboro, Maryland. Now entering the ring is class number 22 of your Limousin Bulls.
Good class here again, and certainly an individual that hits you pretty hard. A big, stout, rugged January bull with got some crest and masculinity to him. Head looks like what a bull's head needs to look like, but still got kind of a nice presence to him. He's stout. He's good on his feet and legs. He's good in terms of his sheath and length of hip and the way it all kind of ties together. High quality individual that can certainly withstand some competition. Bull again that comes second. Nice, useful kind of a bull again. Masculine about his head and neck shape. A bull that's got some body to him and stuff, just a little frailer structured, could use his hind leg just a little bit better, even just set his tail head down in him just a little bit. But a bull that's got some muscle, his feet and legs work good enough. Certainly a bull that can go out and cover some cows one day. Really good class of bulls out here for this division. I think both of them are extremely high quality and kind of bring a lot of different stuff to the table. The bull that comes out of that first class again, just stout, rugged look to him, big in terms of his rib cage and having some stoutness and mass and meat there from behind. I think his structure is really nice too, the way he kind of blends it all together. A bull they could probably just lengthen out his hip a little bit. Maybe just gets a little rounder there. Maybe not as just sappy in his flank as compared to the bull behind him, but big, rugged, and stout and flexible is really good. Bull that comes out there, the last class again, is just intriguing here from the side, and just to have some muscle and some presence to him, and kind of that combination is really good. He's good in terms of his sheath and one that's maybe not as big footed as the bull ahead of him, and maybe prefer the other bull in terms of his kind of depth of pasture. And I don't think this one's bad by any means, but just kind of compare back and forth. I think both bulls are very good. I think they got a lot of purpose. I like the bull here out of the second class to be your champion. Reserve will be the young man up front. Another good single entry comes out, and certainly masculine about his head and neck, and one that still utilizes kind of all his parts and pieces off of either end of his skeleton relatively well. Got some muscle to him and some shape to him. Again, one you can maybe just drop him down in his flank a little bit and maybe just kind of lay his tail head in there just a shot neater. Again, but a nice kind of bull that's got some got some testicle development there in terms of sizes really well. Feet look good. Certainly a bull that can cover some cows and kind of move an operation forward.
Your Class 22 results of your Limousin Bull Show in first place, and also your champion goes to entry number 103, KESC Keno 5N, exhibited by Kessler Collins of Flanagan, Illinois. In second place, and your reserve champion goes to entry number 100, TASF Nightfall 986N, exhibited by Thomas and Son Farms of Boonesboro, Maryland. Congratulations to your Division III champion bull goes to entry number 106, RCC Mojito 424M, exhibited by Ridgeland Cattle Company of West Virginia.
Really good single entry bull comes to us again, and certainly a bull that's masculine and kind of gives you a neat look for how much crest that he does have, and kind of ties all in there together. From the side, you like a lot of things about him. I think he's just smooth, and his sheath is tucked up in him. His testicles are big and square and hang the correct size. Structure is really nice. A bull that's got some shape to him up high. You could probably just open him up a little bit in his upper pin set a little bit. He tracks plenty wide though. Got some pride to him underneath in his lower skeleton. I think he's a very high quality bull that can stand a lot of competition.
Your Class 24 results of your Limousin Bull Show in first place went to entry number 109, Old 24 Manhattan, exhibited by Kogan Schilling of Goodland, Kansas. Now entering the ring is class number 25 of your Limousin Bulls.
Another good single entry bull comes to us, and again, one with some muscle and meat, got some testicle underneath him again. Certainly got a nice kind of presence of a bull in terms of his head and crest. One that's got some muscle to him. He's one when you probably ask him to go, could just relax him a little bit, just kind of kind of do his hind leg assembly there just a little bit. Again, good, big-footed bull that's got some testicle and muscle to him for sure.
Your Class 25 results of your Limousin Bull Show in first place goes to FRBR Marlboro Man 403M, exhibited by Friend Brothers Limousine of Duck, West Virginia.
Another single entry bull that certainly can withstand some competition. Good in terms of his depth of body and sheath. I think he reads with a nice shape to him. He's got a kind of a nice look, kind of look of a herd bull to him. Again, I think he's one that can withstand some competition. We could maybe just change him as he stands a little bit. He gets a little straight there in his hock, and one that could maybe just be opened up a little bit underneath. Again, I think that's a really nice bull that will get him back out here and see how he stacks up.
Your Class 26 results, your Limousin Bull Show in first place went to entry number 111, BSLC Higher Outcast 650M, exhibited by Bailey Oftenberg of Burfordville, Missouri. First call, Class 14 Gelvy. First call, Class 14 Gelvy.
Nice lineup of bulls out here again. Certainly takes a lot of time and work to get these bulls from kind of point A to point B, and I think all three of these exhibitors should be very kind of proud of what they brought to the table. Won't take much time here. The bull out of the first class hit me pretty hard. He'll be champion. The bull of your last class will be reserved. Congratulations. Give him a big round of applause.
Second call, Class 14 Gelvy. Second call, Class 14 Gelvys. Please make your way to the makeup arena. This is your first call, Class 17, 19, 20, and 22 balancers. First call, Class 17, 19, 20, and 22 balancers. This time, we'd like to introduce your judge for your 2025 North American Gelvy Balancer Open Show. We'd like to introduce Mr. Doug Saintree from Montague, Texas. Doug raises registered Angus, Sim Angus, and is also a commercial cattleman that has a small cow-calf operation. He has been raising registered cattle for over 50 years and has judged shows on the national, state, and local levels, including the North American, Denver, Kansas City, Fort Worth, Houston, and many junior national shows, including the Angus, Hereford, Shorthorn, Chianina, Maine and Jew, Limousin, Gelvy, and Sealier shows. He has also judged shows in Central and South America, as well as Canada. He has many achievements showing cattle on a national level, which have yielded 4 Angus Show Bulls of the Year and also 5 Key Angus Show Bulls of the Year. His greatest achievement or blessing is becoming a first-time grandfather just 2 weeks ago with a grandson. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our judge today, Mr. Doug Saintree.
Really good lineup here for our kind of champion bull drive. Certainly, I think all you breeders should be be very proud when you can have a lineup of heifer calves standing out there like that. And then I think when you come back to the bull side of things, I think bulls that look like bulls is something to be very proud of. Have some crest and masculinity and some testicle size to them. On top of that, to have enough meat and muscle to them. Still structure in terms of foot quality and just, you know, kind of the way their foot's made and kind of travel, I think is very good with that. So yeah, very impressed here with the bulls. I think there's a certain few individuals out here that a guy can tie into pretty quick and be kind of very proud of them from my perspective of evaluating them, and then just from a breeder's perspective of raising them. So with that, I won't talk too much more. We'll kind of get stuff wrapped up here. I'd like to just thank the North American for having me out here today and the Limousin Association. Certainly an honor and a privilege to come out here and down to Freedom Hall and do this. Certainly my first time down here, and I have really enjoyed the atmosphere of it all. It's something that I'll certainly remember for a long time. So thank you guys for having me out here. It's been a blast. My wife and I got to take a little trip from after our sale and come out here together and kind of get a few days off the farm before we become a family of 3. So certainly something we look very forward to. Again, won't take much more of your time. Let's give these guys a big round of applause. It's been a blast. Thank you guys for having me out here. I'll get you a champion reserve bull.
Third and final call, Class 14, Gelby. Third and final call, Class 14, Gelby. This is your second call, Class 17, 19, 20, and 22 balancers. Second call, Class 17, 19, 20, and 22 balancers. Congratulations, your champion Division 5 Limousin Bull goes to entry number 109, Old 24 Manhattan, exhibited by Kogan Schilling of Goodland, Kansas. Your reserve champion goes to entry number 111, BSLC Higher Outcast 650M, exhibited by Bailey Oftenberg of Bufordville, Missouri. Congratulations, your grand champion bull goes to entry number 109, Old 24 Manhattan, exhibited by Kogan Schilling of Goodland, Kansas. Your reserve champion Limousin Bull goes to entry number 103, KESE Keno 5N, exhibited by Kessler Collins of Flanagan, Illinois.